Picture this. You're watching the evening news, and they flash another headline about interest rates dropping. Most people think nothing of it. Maybe they'll save a few bucks on their credit card this month. But somewhere across town, millionaires are making phone calls, moving millions, and positioning themselves to profit for the next 30 years. Here's what they know that you don't. When interest rates fall, the entire financial universe doesn't just shift. It flips upside down. What felt impossible yesterday becomes inevitable today. But here's the kicker. The wealthy aren't waiting for rates to drop. They're preparing for it months, sometimes years in advance. Because when that moment arrives, hesitation costs fortunes. Think about it like this. Imagine two runners preparing for a race. One shows up in street clothes when the starting gun fires. The other has been training for months, wearing proper running gear and positioned at the starting line. When rates drop, guess who wins? Most people treat interest rates like background noise, just another percentage on the screen. But for the wealthy, these numbers are signals. Crystal clear signals telling them exactly when to borrow, when to buy, and when to expand their empire. When rates are high, money becomes expensive. Every loan eats into profits. Credit cards drain accounts faster. Mortgages squeeze household budgets tighter. So regular folks pull back, cut expenses, and wait for better days. But the wealthy? They're doing something completely different. They're building what I call dry powder. Cash reserves sitting quietly, waiting for the perfect storm. They're strengthening their credit while others neglect theirs. They're studying which neighborhoods will explode when mortgages get cheaper. They're tracking companies that will scale fastest when expansion costs plummet. They're watching asset classes like hawks, waiting for the Fed to flip the switch. It's strategic patience. When rates finally drop, they don't waste a second asking what they should do. They already know. They have targets locked in, lenders lined up, plans ready to execute. Here's the hidden advantage most people miss. Banks don't lend equally when the floodgates open. They lend first to people who look bulletproof. Strong credit scores, healthy reserves, clean balance sheets. So when opportunity knocks, the wealthy don't just borrow. They borrow bigger, cheaper, and faster than anyone else. By the time average people are celebrating a slightly lower car payment, millionaires are locking in deals that will pay them every single year for the next 3 decades. That's not luck. That's preparation meeting opportunity. But here's what gets me excited. This same playbook works at any income level. You don't need millions to play this game. You just need to think like the wealthy think. Start with debt. When rates fall, your first move should be refinancing expensive loans. A credit card dropping from 20% to 15% might seem small, but it's literally giving yourself a raise without working extra hours. Next, focus on your credit score. While rates are high, strengthen it religiously. Pay on time, lower balances, avoid unnecessary debt. Why? Because when banks open their doors wider, they don't serve everyone equally. They serve the most credit-worthy first. Think of it as polishing your resume before the biggest job opening of your life. Then build cash reserves. Not because you're scared, but because you're hunting. You don't need millions. Even a few $1,000s set aside can mean the difference between watching opportunities pass by or grabbing them when they appear. Finally, think about assets. When money becomes cheaper, risk assets often surge. Stocks, crypto, even real estate. This doesn't mean gambling recklessly. It means positioning carefully so when the economic tailwind hits, it carries you forward instead of leaving you behind. Now let me show you the 3 levers that matter most when rates drop. The wealthy pull all 3 every single time. Lever 1. Offense. Increase the flow. Cheap money makes expansion easier. For the wealthy, that means launching ventures, acquiring companies, scaling investments with borrowed capital that now costs less. For you, it could mean investing in skills while credit is cheaper, starting a side business with affordable borrowed capital, or negotiating a higher salary while companies feel confident about hiring. Think of it as opening a faucet wider. The more it flows during these windows, the faster your wealth tank fills up. Lever 2. Defense. Lock in your gains. Falling rates are perfect for protecting your foundation. Refinance that crushing debt. Take a 7% car loan down to 4%. Drop a 6% mortgage to 3%. Each percentage point saved isn't just relief. It's momentum you can redirect into savings and investments. Here's where most people mess up. They celebrate lower payments but don't channel the difference into growth. Defense isn't about spending less, it's about redirecting what you save to strengthen your entire financial system. Lever 3. Efficiency. Put your money to work harder. As markets heat up, every dollar invested becomes more powerful. Use low-cost index funds. Move emergency funds to high-yield accounts. Automate transfers the second paychecks land. Don't underestimate automation. Humans hesitate. Systems don't. Put these 3 levers together, and you stop just surviving interest rate changes. You start profiting from them, turning small shifts into massive long-term advantages. At first, preparing feels boring. You're saving while friends buy new cars, building cash reserves in silence. It feels like nothing's happening. But then the shift comes. The Fed announces a cut. Rates slide down. Suddenly, the math flips in your favor. Picture yourself climbing a steep hill with a backpack full of bricks. That's money when rates are high. Every step feels slow and exhausting. But when rates fall, it's like someone removes half the bricks or tilts the hill downward. The same effort now produces twice the distance. That's why markets rally so fast. Stocks don't wait. Housing doesn't wait. Crypto doesn't wait. They accelerate the moment conditions change. The wealthy know this moment is coming. They've packed their parachutes and are ready to glide while others are still tying their shoes. Here's where compounding comes alive. Lower rates mean lower costs. Lower costs mean stronger cash flow. Stronger cash flow means bigger reinvestments. Bigger reinvestments make the wealth curve bend upward faster with momentum that feeds itself. It's preparation meeting perfect timing. Once you feel that shift, you realize you're not just climbing anymore. You're accelerating downhill. When rates fall, your mindset changes everything. Most people treat it like a small discount at checkout, but the wealthy feel it like freedom. They stop asking how to survive this economy and start asking how to expand in it. That single shift from survival to expansion changes everything. Money stops being something to cling to and becomes a lever, a multiplier, a tool pushing your life forward. A loan isn't just a burden anymore. It becomes leverage for buying assets that grow faster than the interest you owe. Once you experience this mindset shift, you can't go back. It changes your lens permanently. You notice opportunities where others see noise. A housing market dip looks like an entry point, not a threat. A small rate cut looks like the spark of a bigger rally. You start asking different questions. Is this decision moving me forward, or am I wasting this chance? Am I letting fear slow me down while others speed ahead? That's why the wealthy get richer when rates drop. Not just because they have more capital, but because they have the clarity, mental readiness, and courage to act while everyone else hesitates. Here's the truth most people miss. Lower interest rates don't magically make anyone rich. They simply tilt the playing field. They remove friction, reduce the cost of money, and speed up capital flow. But whether that flow works for you or passes you by depends entirely on your preparation. For the unprepared, falling rates mean shaving a few dollars off monthly payments. Nice in the short term, but it doesn't transform their future. For the wealthy, the same rate drop means refinancing entire portfolios, securing leverage on cash-flowing properties, positioning millions in assets that compound faster than before. Decades of returns launched in single decisions. The difference isn't luck or unfair access, it's readiness. Think of it like a race. The starting gun fires, but not everyone's wearing running shoes. Some are barefoot, unprepared, already behind before taking the first step. Meanwhile, the wealthy are at the front line, trained, equipped, and sprinting the moment the signal comes. So the real question isn't will rates fall? The real question is when they do, will you be ready to act? Stop treating interest rate cuts as background noise. Start treating them as one of the most powerful wealth signals you'll ever receive. When rates drop, most people see relief. The wealthy see acceleration. You have the same choice. You can treat it as just another news headline or the green light that changes everything. Because every rate shift creates two groups. One that saves a few dollars and feels temporary relief. Another that uses the moment to build lasting freedom. Every dollar you position today is a worker waiting for its chance. When the slope tilts, those workers don't crawl. They sprint. They multiply. They build on each other until the system itself carries you forward. Don't wait for the news to tell you it's time. Prepare now. Build your reserves. Sharpen your defenses. Design your system so when the moment comes, you're not reacting. You're already moving. Because when the window opens, it won't stay open forever. The wealth flows to those who were ready, not those who hesitated. If this video helped you see the game differently, smash that like button and subscribe for more wealth-building insights. Remember, every dollar you prepare today is a silent worker waiting to sprint the moment the signal comes. It never calls in sick, never asks for a raise, never clocks out. It just keeps building your future.